Ladies and gentlemen, I'm back inside Starbase. I think I found something. Do you think this could be RDRT, the robot allegedly running Starbase? Or maybe one of its little clones? I've come this far, not gonna let this stop me. Let's see what it does. Maybe it'll talk to me. Miss Meridian, your robot is doing weird things. Oh, Miss Meridian! That thing is following me.
Oh, hi, Miss Star.
That is-
You come in. How are you?
I think it's my lawful duty to inform you that attorneys from Channel 5 will be making their way here, okay? They're going to take legal action against one of your robots.
Oh, why?
Loitering and intimidating behavior.
Oh, my.
Yeah, I touched something and it started following me down the hall. And its behavior is very cynical. Sinister. That's what I meant to say. One can only imagine what its intentions really are.
Oh, it doesn't have any.
It doesn't have any what?
Oh, intentions. Like this robot and all robots, it can only do what you have programmed it to. That's what makes it a robot.
How can you be so sure? Because I thought robots became self-animated a very long time ago.
Well, if we look back at the history of robotics, I actually have a few pictures. Do you want to see?
Yes, I would love to see.
Let's do it. All right. So, a robot is any machine that's been programmed to automatically or independently complete tasks. And the last part is the most important. It needs to actually do something. So if you look back in like the 1400s, this gentleman named Leonardo da Vinci sketched the idea for a humanoid robot. And it kind of looked like a person. It was just covered in metal. And inside, it had these little tiny gears. But these little gears could only move this shell of a person, arms around a little bit and body around a little bit, but it didn't complete any tasks. So this isn't a robot. And then down here is an example of a duck-like creature, which was supposed to mimic a real duck. And in the 18th century, a French person was trying to create something that could take a pellet through its mouth and then process it through its body. But it was really just rolling it around. It wasn't actually completing a task. So that's not a robot either. I would like to show you what a real robot is. This right here, this is called Sputnik. And this was created in the 50s. And it is something that was launched up into outer space to gather some information and then send that info back to Earth, which means that it was a robot because it was doing it all by itself. And this is a really cool invention from the 60s. This was a computer that was massive. I mean, like taller than you and as wide as the room, and it was able to take in some information or a question and then give you an answer. But a lot has changed since then. This little guy, or this ginormous piece of machinery, can process about as much as your tiny little calculators can now. So there's a big difference. Like this is one of the more modern inventions. And robotics is now used in an industrial sense. This is one that was used to create cars. And it was a really big deal when they put this solution because before robotics, you had to have people down here working with these metals. And when you use metals like this, you usually have to heat them up. And when you heat them up, they release a whole bunch of gases, which can be really dangerous for humans. So they replaced people with robots. And those robots can continue working, and they will not get burned, and they don't have a hard time breathing. So it made a really big difference when making cars. And these are some of the images I like from robotics today. And this is all changing really fast. Like, for example, this is a robot that can mow your lawn all by itself, completing a task. It's really nice. This is a robot that can clean your house, actually, all by itself. And this is a really interesting picture of a robot that's being used to replace someone who's lost their arm from the elbow down. And this robot can independently do things like crack an egg or write. It's amazing. And these are a few more. Actually, some of our students are going to recognize a couple of these pictures. For example, this one right here is a UAV, which they get to build in CAD. And these are some robotics that are being used in a variety of ways. This actually is a robot that is attached to your eye. And this is a robot that's so small, it is about the size of a mosquito. So it can fit on the tip of your finger, like this big. Bubble. Oh, I'm sorry, pop the bubble. These are some of the robots that we use actually here at Starbase. Oh, and that reminds me, I was actually doing a practice with this little robot you met in the hallway because I am going to be teaching the robots how to program students this week at Starbase.
Ha! So that's it! That's the secret. You heard it first, ladies and gentlemen. The real secret behind Starbase student success is that they are programmed by robots. Oh, wait until the national news networks get a hold of this.
No.
I'll be rich. I'll be famous.
I'm so sorry. I misspoke. No, it's our students who are programming these robots.
Really?
Really, yes. We actually are going to teach our students how to properly care for their robots and program them in the computer lab and then see what happens.
So you're giving children these fragile little robots made of what appear to be tiny Legos? Expecting them to return to them in one piece, unbroken.
Yes, yeah, RDRT, remember?
Oh, do I ever? I sure remember that.
Yes.
Okay, well, I'm gonna take off now. Go ahead and get back to your programming.
I will, thank you.
Robots.
Good to see you.
You too. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That was a very interesting slip of the tongue, leaving us with even more questions, such as, are students programming robots at Starbase, or are robots programming students? More to come when we return.